should be like you, Mel.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Cherries fans from around the world. Welcome to another edition of Cherry AM. Firstly, allow me to apologise for last night's antics on Cherry Slaps. Internet issues in North Wales seem to be pretty persistent. Please welcome Malcolm, my co-host for this morning. Welcome, Malcolm. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Ollie. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us this morning. Yep. Absolutely. Pretty dull and overcast here this morning.
Yeah, I can't say mine's any different. It's a terrible day outside. Be interesting to see what everyone else's is like. Let's hit the comments first of all. Chris Hubble, morning Ollie and Mal. Morning, Chris.
Morning, Chris.
David DaCosta, morning Ollie and Mal. 13 degrees, cold and wet. Bored with the international break today. Yeah. It's a bit annoying, David, because it doesn't feel like that long ago that we were having international break conversations. So it seems to have come up quite a lot recently. But glad you are up and about.
Yeah, morning, David.
Everyone. Morning, Paul.
Morning, Paul.
Dan Short. Morning, Ollie and Malcolm. So glad it's international break so we can recuperate injured players.
Yeah, good morning, Dan.
Yeah. And Paul from Oz. Hi, Ollie and O. Morning, Paul.
Oh, I'm here. Morning, Paul.
So not the longest of shows this morning because unfortunately I have alternative plans from 5:30 onwards. So we're going to crack on with last night's overview and update of Cherry Slaps. Obviously not the best result, so I don't know if we're going to be going into that for too long this morning. And then we're going to give a big fat Premier League update as because it's the international break this week, we're not on tomorrow, and I don't believe we're on Thursday either.
No, we're not.
No, so let's get into the thick of it. Obviously, last night, if you were involved in Cherry Slaps, you would have seen we got about 6 minutes into the show, and unfortunately, we had internet issues. So if we were picking back up from them out, I know that we were heavy in conversation during that internet drop. I think let's revisit it slightly. We do have to give credit to Villa. There were some fantastic goals. They really did come out and they played good football against Andoni and against Bournemouth, resulting in a loss. Yeah. Any additional thoughts on that game, or how we could have maybe paired up against Villa a bit better coming out the gates?
Very, very difficult. I did actually point out yesterday before we cut off how strong Villa were as a setup, and that they are on a roll. Despite their previous loss at Liverpool, still play very, very well. They're ticking along really nicely now. You can see Unai's got them where he wants them to be. Not just the starting 11, but the subs as well. They come on and make an impact. Very similar to what Andoni would generally do. For us, what could we have done? Crikeys, where do you start? Well, I did say that the lineup for me wasn't as expected. So you've gone off again. Well, I'll keep talking. So Andoni's lineup wasn't particularly what I would have expected, and probably some of the fans as well. I don't really know. I think in hindsight, we can really. I was just saying, in hindsight, it's a good thing to have. Maybe he wouldn't have started that starting 11. But having said that, I'm going to give full credit to Villa for the way they set up, the way they played. I mean, actually, if you're a Villa fan, they must have been rubbing their hands thinking, crikeys, we didn't expect a performance like this against a team like this. So hats off to them. It was just a very, very bad day at the office for Bournemouth.
Yes. Yeah, it was indeed. Obviously, one of the bigger points I want to bring up is the Semenyo penalty.
Okay.
I think, obviously, we can... Villa were fantastic, you're right. And if this was Cherry Slaps, I think we'd go more into how good Villa were. But luckily for us and luckily for everyone watching, this isn't Cherry Slaps. This is Cherry AM. So let's give some credit to Villa, but let's skip it a little bit and let's talk about this Semenyo penalty, because do we reckon Semenyo should have taken it, first of all?
Questionable. It's worth throwing out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it'd be interesting to know everyone's opinions on that, because in my opinion, I don't think I'd have picked Semenyo.
I'd have picked Krupi.
I'd have picked Krupi. Yeah.
He was on the field after 63 minutes. Penalty came 4 minutes later. And we know that he can score penalties in his time at Lorient.
Yep.
So, also, I'm not saying he's off form, but Semenyo has not reached the standards in the last couple of games that he has been playing.
Yep.
Now,
since the battle
I'm not knocking him, but in the past couple of games, they double up on him, sometimes 3 players on him, because they know what he can do.
Yeah.
All right, now, is that a mentality issue?
It could be. It could be. I'm starting to think about a different trail of thought. Sorry, Sean, but it's probably Sean's fault, and it's Evan Nilsson. Mm-hmm. And the reason I want to bring that up is, again, Sean's done a really good argument. I'm not sure if you've seen the post on Facebook, but there's about 40 comments on it now. And there's people agreeing, people disagreeing about stats and not stats and this, that, and the other. And I think it's a fantastic post because it really has brought a ton of engagement and a ton of different comments. And there was one comment on there that basically said how Evan Nilsson, when he got injured last season, just before Christmas, and we were panicking with all of our players coming in from the subs bench and the squad, and we ended up going on an 8-game win streak. It feels a bit similar now. Went on an 8-game win streak. Evan Nilsson's come back into the squad, and we feel a little bit disrupted. Not quite entirely connected as we were when we had players who were waiting to prove themselves, and not a 40 million player who's expecting to come on whenever he's ready. I don't know how I think about that or how I feel about that. Have you got any opinions on that thought process?
Well, it's really interesting because in my starting lineup, Krupi was there to start.
Interesting.
All right, so I realised that Eva was back. He was fit. I still think he should have started on the bench. Mm-hmm. He's not the only one, by the way. I think Diakite should have started in front of Milos. So, hey ho, it is what it is. But yeah, isn't it odd that the changes that Andoni made, he did a big swap, didn't he, in the League Cup game against Brentford, and it all went pear-shaped.
Yep.
So that was the thought process that went through my mind on Sunday evening. You know, how has this happened? Why is the performance below par? Could it have been that? Could it also been the issue? Could it have also been the issue with Smithy going off so early?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and this
You
is
know, but like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Villa because they were absolutely superb.
yeah, they were.
But it's a problem for Andoni to have all the players fit, and he's already admitted it in press conferences. You know, what team does he pick? I would have said, look, stay with the formula that's performing and just move forward. Maybe tweak something now and again, and the players just have to accept that.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like these tweaks or the changes that have been brought in have happened against City and Villa. You know, when we saw against Palace, and let's bear in mind we had some fantastic games in the lead up to Palace.
Yeah.
And then we had that explosive 3-3 game against Palace that was fantastic from end to end for 100 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
You know, and then you'd assume you'd take that energy and that win run all the way through to City, and it kind of felt like we were a bit dilapidated at City, and that feeling creeped onto the Villa game. And as you said, I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's so hard to pinpoint exactly what the problem was from Sunday. So hard to pull it apart. And what makes it then easier to put that pinpoint on Evan Nilsson is that he is the only common denominator at the moment from when we were winning games to when we're not winning games.
Yeah, I mean, I do get it. I do get it. But as you so rightly said, where does the problem lie? I think it's collective. I actually said that yesterday evening, didn't I? I said it's collective. It wasn't just one particular player or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think also because we've got enough players that are disappearing in the international break.
Yep.
That also plays a factor. You know, they're thinking, right, we get this game out of the way and we're going to disappear for a fortnight.
Yep.
You know, maybe their mind wasn't exactly 100% on the game. I don't know.
It's possible. Yeah, it's absolutely possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the thing is any of these things are possible. I mean, you could also bring up the Scott call up to the national team. You could, you could all, as you said, the Adams and Smith clash. There could have been a lot of concern, a lot of doubt from player to player, not just people watching the game. There could be tons of variables. And that's what makes it so hard, doesn't it? And I imagine
and also if, you know, Jimenez, he didn't have a particularly good time out there, but he was probably more shocked than anybody that he had to be called on after 10 minutes.
Exactly. And then called off again, which you don't see that often.
Well, obviously, you know, because like I said, the performance, you know, all the way through the team wasn't particularly good.
Yeah.
I think for me, Tav had a half decent game, and also Alex Scott. Apart from that, the rest, you know, they were well below par, even Adams. But I think that is because of the way Villa played.
Yeah.
And not so much that the way, you know, that we were so poor, but because Villa were really, well, they were just in control, you know.
You are right, because the pushback I have to that is my eyes were heavily fixed on Adrian Treffer, and he also wasn't up to standard. There was mistakes in a few places.
That's right, there were
two where he nearly wholly conceded the goals himself by making mistakes in front of goal or in the box.
Yeah.
I think one of them he sorted out and picked back up and managed to slide the ball out, but just from memory, other than that, every player seemed lackluster. There didn't seem to be that normal Bournemouth camaraderie that we're used to seeing in every game. Yeah.
Having said that, they did show a reaction in the second half.
They did. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like I said, Villa were brilliant. We came out and I'm just thinking, oh, what can we expect in the second half? It was very difficult to sort of do some sort of commentary with Daz on it and watch that at the same time, it was like sort of a little bit disbelief. We were probably expected more.
Yeah,
definitely expected more. But at least they showed some sort of character in the second half. Yeah, a bit disappointed when the third one went in. I mean, they overloaded at the back post. It's what we do from time to time. And it is just one of those situations where, it's poor defending, to be honest with you. But hey ho, the fourth goal, it was a deflection. Petrovic couldn't do anything about that. He had the initial shot covered, and it bounced off their player's foot and went the other direction. So I think maybe 4 was probably one too many. Deservedly one. I'm not taking anything away from them. But the performance in general was well down on what we're used to.
Well, cannot complain at the first 2 goals. The free
no,
kick
absolutely not.
That free kick from Buendia.
That was actually superb.
And it was a lesson, really, because we'd just missed one very, very similar distance. And
from Tav.
Yeah. And again, not sure why Tav was on it. Strange decision there.
The difference between the two, Tav went for power and the Villa one went for feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it was absolutely wonderful what he actually did. The way he got that over the wall, right? Well, it wasn't exactly into the corner, but it's far enough away from Petrovic.
Yeah.
Superb.
And similar for Onana. His game. Also, his goal also was fantastic. The low strike into the bottom corner was, again, great goal. Great goal. And they both deserved it. I think the most important thing to remember here, and I know that you'll echo these thoughts and feelings, Mal, is that we were never going to have the perfect season. This isn't our time to have the perfect season. As you know as well as I do, we're still only 2 or 3 years into a 5-year plan. We've got a couple of years left to grow and get to the stability that we want. We're going to have games like this, unfortunately.
Of course we are.
And they're hard to watch, as it was for me, as it was for you, as it was for Daz and everyone else watching along. Tough to watch, but we've got to have these games. And I think the reason I say that is I saw this morning on the AFCB fans page. I know it's an unregulated page, and there were some fans that were kicking off because we should be playing better and acting better because we were trying to achieve so much higher and so much more. And I couldn't disagree with it anymore. I really couldn't. I think the way that we've started our season and the fact that we're still in the top 10 and we're battling, one game or two wins could really change the whole look of the top 10, the top 6.
Yes. I think, fans need to be a little bit more focused on performances. The hype is obviously, when you hit second place, the hype is all about the E word, which I still, don't want to discuss. We're 10 games in. We haven't won anything. You don't get any prizes after 10 games, do you?
No.
And this is what I mean. Your focus should be on the next game. All right. Keep on dreaming. Keep on believing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But you have to wait until game 37, 38 to see where you are.
Yep. Absolutely. Right, we're going to come to the table quickly in just a moment. I'm going to hit some of these comments.
Please do.
Hi guys, 13 degrees overcast here. Glad you paid the electric bill, Ollie. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Funnily enough, I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but I did cut out again and had to come downstairs.
I did talk it over.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. But David DaCosta, Semenyo is a marked man.
Yeah.
In a number of ways, unfortunately. Yeah. Matt says, great shirt, Malcolm.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Morning.
Paul Sants, I think Evra is one of our most important players. It's a conversation, Paul, for sure. I'd argue
they're all important.
Yeah, I'd definitely argue your case and agree with you, but at the same time, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen soon for him to be pulled back into that important player position for me. Chris says, nice shirt, Mal. Paul says, personally, the whole team did not play well on Sunday. We were very poor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Chris Hubble must win against West Ham United next weekend.
The week after, isn't it?
Weekend after, yeah, I think. But yes, you're right. We would like to have that as a must win for sure. Paul Paul Sands, I just hope we beat West Ham, or we could be looking downwards and not up the table. Yeah, I think West Ham's...
My glass is half full. Come on.
Yeah, my glass is also half full. I don't have any doubts.
No, me neither.
I think the international break will be good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen, but you've got the likes of Tyler Adams not going to play in the international.
That's right, yeah.
Which I think is super interesting. And again, another conversation for debate, because there must be a reason that he's done that. There must be a heavier focus on his performances in the Premier League and where he's got to, compared to how he wants to perform under the national team at United States. So interesting, very interesting.
Well, the other side of the coin is they're just friendlies, aren't they?
That's true, yeah. But
Right,
again, you'd still like to think that the exposure for someone like Tyler Adams going to play internationally,
yeah,
you'd pick every day of the week, surely.
His bread and butter is playing for Bournemouth.
Yeah, well, and you can tell he loves it, right? You can tell that those group of lads, Tav, Clivert, Scott,
Adams,
Christie, Adams, they're all a real good, close group of lads. It's good. Nick Gillins, 13 goals conceded in 3 away games. Disrupted team or new defence still learning?
My phone's ringing. Shall I keep talking?
Yeah, go on. Nick, it's a great question. I think you phrased it perfectly, mate, to be honest. I think this is actually something I'd quite like to do a show on separately. Because I think 13 goals in 3 away games is a huge amount, to be honest. I think it could be a bit of both, disrupted team and new defence.
It's an interesting point.
Yeah, although part of me wants to argue that new defence, we can't really use that excuse considering how good we've been again in some games. However, is the disrupted team more of a thing now? Is there more character? Is there more personalities? Is there more battle for the positions? Is there a bit of distaste in the back room? Who knows? We don't know.
Whatever the issues are there, I'm sure, because they'll keep it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And they'll sort it out. Yeah. Trust the process, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, David says teams have changed their tactics to combat playing us. Credit to Villa. Exactly.
Yeah, they have. They've been watching us.
It's only going to get harder for us to play against teams. And if I know Andoni is bloody good, but he can't be that good to be able to anticipate how a team's going to change to combat his tactics every game.
Yeah.
That's next level, isn't it? You can't see the future, unfortunately.
That is right. That is quite correct. It's going to be interesting to see how we go, up against West Ham when the next game comes round. It really will be.
Yeah. Paul from Oz says every team has an off day. This was one of ours.
Yeah, happens.
3 more. Darren says, hi, Ollie and Malcolm. I will write 100 times. I must be earlier.
Hi, Daz. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, morning, mate. Glad to have you here. He says, I've tried to analyse the poor performance, and up until the clash of heads, we were doing okay. It's about 2.5 minutes in, wasn't it?
3 minutes, yeah.
3 minutes, yeah. I really believe that rocked the players and upset our game, and we simply couldn't recover from that. Now, Daz, I will absolutely back that comment if we come out against West Ham like the Bournemouth that we know. If that's correct, then you're spot on, and it rocked us, which it definitely could have, then we need to be coming out against West Ham as we used to coming out, as we came out against Palace, as we came out against City. We came out against City and we were, firstly, an offside goal from Krupi in the first.
Well, we were on the front foot, weren't we?
Constantly attacking. I don't know what happened this weekend, but something dropped and it happens. It happens. We write it up and score it up. It's a bad day at the office, as you said. Right, unfortunately for this morning, I've got 5 minutes left. So let's jump in to the Premier League table. Darren says 100% agree with everything you were saying. Thanks, Daz.
Thanks, Daz.
Feel better. Football table, Premier League. So we have dropped down into 9th place. Now, please bear in mind that's not a scary position. Because between us in 9th place on 18 points and Chelsea in 3rd on 20 points is 1 game difference. One game. That's all it is to get from ninth to third. So please bear in mind that over the next few games, up until Christmas, New Year even, it's going to be a crazy dash of leapfrogging from every single team in this league.
Yep. Fully agree. Like I said, you haven't won anything after 10 games, have you?
No, you absolutely haven't. No.
Positions in the table don't mean a thing at this stage of the season.
No,
it's just a talking point.
Yeah, I've seen Arsenal fans see the City games recently and start thinking, oh no, we might have had a really good start to the season. We might be on 26 points, but anything can change at any moment in time. You can have 3 bad games, 3 losses, and that could put you straight back down. An incredible looking season. And I don't want to keep comparing this to the Leicester City season, but my God, it looks very similar.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. It's
not necessarily for our benefit, Mel. I mean, for any club, for a club that's not necessarily top 6, a Sunderland, that would be fantastic. Even a Spurs jumping in and getting a first or second would be huge, really. If you think about it in the grand scheme,
it would be a shock.
Yeah, wouldn't it just? I think Villa up there, they're 6th now. Palace, they're doing all right. I know they're sat at 10th, but they're still 17 points. A game or two could change the entire outlook for them. I'm not entirely convinced. Darren says you are correct. A topsy-turvy table. If Wolves win all remaining games, they can finish in European.
Can you see that happening, Daz?
They are on 2 points currently, Daz. So you are right. That's factually correct. But crikey, what a miracle that would be. Any thoughts and comments on the Premier League results from this weekend? I know that there was a few interesting games. Sunderland had a banger against Arsenal. I think Tottenham fans were a bit annoyed. They didn't. Well,
they threw it away, mate. They threw away 2 points. I mean, I didn't like what I saw on Saturday, to be honest with you. I thought the quality of Premier League football on Saturday was pretty, apart from probably Sunderland, like I say, it was really good. I'm going to throw one in there. I mean, we've talked about Sunderland before, and Shaka, what's his name? Shaka.
Yep. Yeah. Ex-Arsenal.
Yeah. I mean, he's like a rock. You could even say granite. Sorry.
Nice.
No, they don't give up. They fight. They absolutely brilliant. And to get a 2-2 against Arsenal at home, because that's that was a test for them.
Yeah, my God, was it a test for them? And they've performed.
Yeah.
And what's amazing, give them credit and hats off. They continue to come out and perform. They haven't really had a bad, dire game yet, Sunderland.
Not really.
And when you're doing that kind of mediocre, not conceding as many goals as other teams, still putting away goals, you're gonna just slowly drift up that table. And they are. And kudos to them. Real big kudos to them. Kudos to them. Kudos to Villa. Kudos to Palace. And kudos to us. And I'm excited to see where it goes. Paul San says City all the way for me.
I mean, wow. I mean, the standout player of the weekend was Doku, wasn't he? I mean, I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw the game, but my goodness me, what a game he had!
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, they continue. They weren't that exciting at the start of the league, City, but as we continue to watch them, and as you said, Doku, it's fantastic. You start to see a bit less from the likes of Foden.
Although previous week Foden was really, really excellent, so they're starting to click, and it's worrying times for anybody else at the top of the league. Yeah, so I'd probably go along with what Paul Sand says there. Yeah.
Fantastic. Look, from my point of view, I am done this morning. I need to get away to baby appointments because this co-host is due to have a baby soon.
Okay.
So, fantastic for everyone joining. Thank you all, as always. It was a great show. At least I kept my internet, so that's all I can hope for. Malcolm, I know that we're not due to be on tomorrow or on Thursday.
It could change, but
we may make an appearance Thursday. I've quite enjoyed this morning.
We'll talk it over. We'll put it up on Facebook anyway. So
yeah.
All right.
Yep, absolutely. But for now, I hope you have a great day. I hope everyone in the chat has a great day. And up the cherries, and I'll see you at some point this week.
Yep. Thanks everyone for joining us this morning. Have a good day, and up the cherries.
Up the cherries.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.